My beloved child, something unseen has been happening behind the scenes, and this message reaches you at the exact moment you were meant to hear it. Someone is quietly trying to close a door in your life, not because you are weak, but because your presence, your growth, and your destiny have started to shake what they can no longer control. You may have felt a sudden resistance, an unexplained delay, or a strange emotional heaviness, as if opportunities paused without reason. This is not coincidence. This is the moment when hidden intentions surface, when truth begins to press against the silence, and when heaven itself steps closer to intervene. Amen. 111. Listen carefully now, because this is where the story shifts. The door they are attempting to close was never meant to trap you, it was meant to reveal who stands against your rise. Their actions are driven by fear, fear of what happens when you fully step into your purpose. They sensed your breakthrough before you did, and that is why the pressure increased. But here is the revelation that changes everything: when a door closes by human hands, a greater one prepares to open by divine authority. What feels like rejection is actually protection, and what feels like loss is alignment rearranging itself in your favor. Something huge is waiting for you, closer than you think. Amen. 222. Archangel Michael declares this clearly. Do not panic, do not chase what is leaving, and do not doubt your worth for even a second. The closing of this door is a signal, not an ending. It marks the moment where false access is removed so true elevation can begin. In the next phase, clarity will replace confusion, strength will replace fear, and a path you never expected will reveal itself with undeniable force. Stay with this message, because what is about to be revealed next explains why this door had to close. And what power is now moving toward you. Amen. 333. Hear this message without distraction, because what is unfolding now explains the pressure you have been feeling lately. The person trying to close this door believed silence would weaken you, distance would confuse you, and delay would make you doubt yourself. But something unexpected happened: you stayed standing. Your calm unsettled them. Your patience exposed them. And now, the very move meant to stop you has activated a higher sequence. This is why Archangel Michael urges you to stay connected to this message and to let others hear it too, because truth grows stronger when it is witnessed. Amen. 444. Pay close attention to this moment, because this is where awareness becomes power. When you share this message and speak about what resonates, you break the hidden advantage of those working against you. Their strength depended on you staying quiet, scrolling away, or dismissing the signs. But every comment, every shared word, every conscious listener multiplies protection around you. This is not about numbers, it is about alignment. When you stay engaged and grounded in this truth, unseen resistance begins to collapse on its own. Amen. 555. Archangel Michael speaks with authority now: stay present, stay connected, and stay anchored to this revelation. When you commit your attention fully, when you choose to remain with this message instead of walking away, you signal readiness for what comes next. A door may be closing behind you, but ahead, something far greater is unlocking, step by step. Do not miss the next revelation, because it reveals who benefits when you rise, and why this timing is not accidental. Amen. 666. Now feel the shift happening within you, because this is the moment your intuition starts speaking louder than fear. The reason that door is closing is simple and shocking: you outgrew the space without realizing it. What once felt safe was slowly becoming a limitation, and heaven will never allow comfort to become a cage. The resistance you sensed was a warning signal, not a punishment. It was destiny tapping your shoulder, telling you that remaining there would have delayed what is meant to arrive next. Amen. 777. Understand this truth deeply, because it changes how you see everything that is happening. The one who tried to block you unknowingly became a messenger, pushing you out of a place where your light was being dimmed. Their intention was control, but the outcome is release. What they could not see is that you were never meant to stay small, silent, or dependent on that door. The moment it closes, your vision sharpens, your strength returns, and your alignment accelerates towards something far bigger. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 888. Archangel Michael confirms this with certainty: the next door will not need permission, explanation, or approval. It will open because it recognizes you. The delays end here. The confusion dissolves here. What follows is clarity, movement, and a powerful turn that no one can reverse. Stay with this message, because what comes next reveals the exact blessing that replaces what was taken away, and why the timing is divinely precise. Amen. 999. This is the turning point you did not expect, because now the hidden truth rises to the surface. The door closed because you were no longer meant to enter spaces that require you to shrink, explain yourself, or beg for recognition. What was taken away was already draining your energy. What replaces it will multiply your strength. Archangel Michael reveals that the moment you stay attentive to this message, and allow others to hear it as well, the weight lifts faster. When this truth is spoken, shared, and acknowledged, protection expands around you instantly. Amen. 1111. Stay engaged with this revelation, because your voice activates clarity not just for you, but for many who are silently walking the same path. When you speak in agreement, when you leave your mark through conscious words, and when you remain connected instead of disappearing, the delay loses its power. This is why heaven urges participation, not silence. Your presence confirms readiness. Your awareness confirms alignment. And your attention confirms that what is coming next will not pass you by. Amen. 1222. Archangel Michael declares the final warning of this phase: do not look back at the closed door with regret. That chapter ended because a greater assignment has begun. What approaches now carries peace, authority, and undeniable confirmation that you were never blocked, you were redirected. Stay close, stay aware, and stay connected, because the next message reveals the reward that follows obedience and patience. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 1333. Something irreversible has already begun, and this is why your spirit feels alert right now. The moment that door closed, a chain reaction was triggered in realms you cannot see. What was holding you back lost authority over your future. The silence you experienced was not abandonment, it was preparation. Heaven was rearranging access, removing interference, and aligning timing so that what comes next arrives with force, not fragility. This is why everything feels intense, because destiny is no longer waiting. Amen. 1444. Let this sink in deeply, because this revelation separates fear from truth. The people who doubted you assumed you would stop when resistance appeared. They miscalculated. Your endurance rewrote the outcome. What they thought would end your momentum actually accelerated it. The door closed to stop your movement, but instead it cut off distractions, false attachments, and emotional noise. Now your path is quieter, clearer, and far more powerful. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is responding to your readiness, not your past. Amen. 1555. Archangel Michael speaks with final certainty for this part: do not rush, do not question, and do not lower your expectations. What is approaching cannot be forced, copied, or intercepted. It is designed specifically for you. The next phase arrives with confirmation so strong that doubt will have no place to stand. Stay aligned, stay steady, and stay present, because the next message reveals how this blessing enters your life, and why it arrives when you least expect it. Amen. 1666. Right now the atmosphere around you is changing, even if nothing visible has shifted yet. This is the silent phase where outcomes are decided before they appear. The closed door was the final test of your resolve, whether you would chase what left or stand still in trust. You chose strength without even realizing it. That choice signaled readiness. From this moment, delays stop being punishments and start becoming precision. Every second you waited refined the blessing that is moving toward you now. Amen. 1777. Here is the truth few are prepared to hear, and this is why this message feels intense. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into what comes next. The separation you felt was necessary, not cruel. If certain people had continued access to you, they would have diluted what is being built. The closed door protected the outcome. It ensured that when the next opportunity arrives, it arrives clean, without sabotage, confusion, or hidden resistance. Something huge is waiting for you, and it requires a clear path. Amen. 1888. Archangel Michael delivers this confirmation. You are no longer in the phase of warning, you are in the phase of reward. What enters next will feel different because it comes with peace, not anxiety. It will not require chasing, convincing, or proving yourself. It will recognize you instantly. Stay grounded, stay present, and stay ready, because the next revelation explains how this blessing manifests physically, and why it cannot be delayed any longer. Amen. 1999. This is where certainty replaces questioning, because the outcome is no longer negotiable. The door that closed was tied to limitation, repetition, and emotional exhaustion. It could not follow you into the next level. What arrives now carries authority, stability, and recognition that does not need explanation. You will notice it clearly, because it brings relief instead of anxiety. This is how you will know it is real. Something huge is waiting for you, and it moves with calm power, not chaos. Amen. 2333. Absorb this revelation fully, because many miss this moment by doubting it. When the new door opens, it will feel natural, almost obvious, as if it was always meant for you. There will be no need to rush, chase, or compete. The resistance you faced before will be absent. That absence is confirmation. Heaven does not struggle to bless, it simply aligns. What once felt blocked now flows, and what once felt heavy now feels light. This is the reward of patience and inner strength. Amen. 2444. Archangel Michael seals this part with truth. You are entering a season where outcomes speak louder than promises. What manifests next will silence past confusion completely. Stay steady, stay aware, and stay aligned, because the final revelations reveal how this transformation impacts not just you, but everyone who once underestimated your journey. The door closed behind you for a reason. The future ahead is irreversible. Amen. 2555. This is the moment reality starts responding to your faith, even before you see proof with your eyes. What was once uncertain now begins to organize itself around you. The closed door removed the last delay, the final distraction, and the remaining doubt. You are no longer being tested, you are being positioned. The silence you experienced was the sound of alignment taking place, and soon it will be replaced by undeniable movement. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is already in motion. Amen. 2666. Understand this carefully, because this truth brings peace. What comes next will not arrive loudly or forcefully, it will arrive correctly. You will recognize it by how stable it feels. No confusion. No pressure. No fear of loss. The anxiety that once followed you will not be able to enter this new phase. That is how you will know the door was closed by protection, not rejection. What aligns with you now cannot be taken away. Amen. 2777. Archangel Michael confirms with authority. The cycle of struggle ends here. From this point forward, your steps are guided, your timing is guarded, and your outcome is secure. Do not rush ahead and do not look back. Stay exactly where you are in trust, because what unfolds next reveals the final shift, the moment when everything you endured suddenly makes sense. The door behind you is sealed. The future ahead is opening now. Amen. 2888. This is the confirmation phase, and it arrives quietly but powerfully. What you thought was an ending has now fully transformed into evidence. Small signs will begin to stack: unexpected clarity, sudden calm, precise timing, each one whispering the same truth: you are exactly where you are supposed to be. The closed door no longer carries emotional weight because its purpose has been fulfilled. What replaces it brings steadiness, not suspense, and certainty, not questions. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is approaching with intention. Amen. 2999. Let this truth anchor you, because this is where many lose focus by looking for drama instead of direction. The next opening will feel grounded, mature, and undeniable. You won't need validation. You won't need to explain. The path ahead aligns so cleanly that resistance fades without a fight. This is how destiny moves when interference has been removed. What enters now stays, because it was chosen, timed, and protected specifically for you. Amen. 3000. Archangel Michael delivers this final seal for this part: stand still and trust and let outcomes speak. You are no longer chasing doors, they are responding to you. What unfolds next will bring closure to the past and authority to your future. Stay present, stay receptive, and stay aligned, because the next revelation marks the moment your new chapter becomes visible to the world. The door closed so your life could open wider than ever before. Amen. 3111. The weight you carried was never meant to be permanent, and now you are reaching the moment where release becomes visible. What closed behind you did so to break a pattern that could not follow you forward. You were repeating cycles that looked familiar but quietly limited your expansion. Heaven intervened not to confuse you, but to cut the loop cleanly. This is why your energy feels different now, lighter, sharper, more aware. The past no longer has leverage here. Amen. 3444. Let this truth settle without resistance, because it explains why things could not stay the same. Growth demanded separation. Elevation required distance. The door closed because your next assignment needs clarity, not compromise. What once drained you would have weakened what is coming. Now your focus is protected, your timing is guarded, and your alignment is precise. Something huge is waiting for you, and it responds only to readiness, not nostalgia. Amen. 3555. Archangel Michael declares this with calm authority: you are no longer preparing, you are stepping in. The signs ahead will be subtle but undeniable. Trust will replace effort. Flow will replace force. What unfolds next confirms that the closure you questioned was the blessing you needed. Stay steady, stay receptive, and stay aligned, because the final phases reveal the outcome that seals this transformation completely. Amen. 3666. This is the threshold moment, where hesitation dissolves and certainty takes its place. The door that closed was the last attachment to an old version of your life. You were loyal to it longer than required, hoping it would evolve with you. It could not. And that is why heaven stepped in decisively. What ends here ends cleanly, no loose ties, no emotional pull, no unfinished business. This clarity is not accidental, it is preparation for immediate forward movement. Amen. 3777. Understand this without fear, because this truth empowers you. The next opening will demand confidence, not explanation. You will not be asked to prove your worth or justify your presence. You will be welcomed as alignment, not tolerated as effort. The struggle phase is over. What once resisted you will no longer have access. Something huge is waiting for you, and it requires you to arrive unburdened, focused, and fully present. Amen. 3888. Archangel Michael seals this stage with authority. You are stepping into a position you could not have entered earlier without losing yourself. Timing protected you. Closure strengthened you. Now the transition completes itself naturally. Do not rush the reveal, let it surface in its power. Stay grounded, stay alert, and stay aligned, because what manifests next confirms beyond doubt that the door closed because you were ready for more. Amen. 3999. This is where the truth becomes undeniable, because events begin aligning without effort. The closed door no longer echoes behind you, its silence proves it has no power left. What once required struggle now responds to your presence. You are no longer reacting, you are attracting. The shift you feel is authority settling in, the calm that comes when destiny recognizes readiness. This moment confirms that the closure was not loss, it was clearance. Amen. 4111. Receive this revelation without hesitation, because it explains why everything feels different now. The next opening does not test your patience, it rewards it. There will be no confusion about whether it belongs to you. It will fit your life, your values, and your future with precision. No chasing. No pressure. No fear of it disappearing. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives with permanence, not uncertainty. Amen. 4222. Archangel Michael delivers this final assurance for this stage. You have crossed the line that separates hoping from knowing. What unfolds next carries confirmation so strong that even past doubts will feel distant. Stay centered, stay aware, and stay aligned, because the next phase reveals the visible outcome, the moment when others finally see what was being prepared for you all along. The door closed because your elevation could no longer be delayed. Amen. 4333. This is the moment everything locks into place, even if the world around you has not caught up yet. The door that closed did its final job, it removed doubt from your spirit. You no longer need reassurance, signs, or permission to move forward. The internal shift is complete. What once pulled you backward has lost its grip, and what lies ahead now responds to your presence alone. This is not anticipation anymore, this is activation. Amen. 4444. Hold this truth firmly, because it explains the calm strength you feel now. You are no longer chasing outcomes, outcomes are aligning to you. The waiting season taught you precision, patience, and discernment. Because of that, what enters next will stay. It will not be temporary, unstable, or conditional. Something huge is waiting for you, and it recognizes you as its rightful place, not a visitor. Amen. 4555. This message seals the transition. The past has no remaining authority, the present is stable, and the future is secured. What opens next carries visibility, confirmation, and lasting impact. Stay grounded, stay alert, and stay aligned, because the final reveal does not whisper, it arrives clearly, firmly, and without reversal. The door closed because you were prepared to stand where few ever reach. Amen. This is the moment of quiet authority, when nothing needs to be proven anymore. The door that closed behind you did not just end a chapter, it sealed it. There is no return, no reconsideration, and no unfinished thread pulling at you. What you are stepping into now requires a steady heart and a clear mind, and that is exactly what you have gained. The noise has fallen away so precision can take over. This is destiny moving without resistance. Amen. 4777. Understand the depth of this shift, because it explains why your reactions have changed. What once triggered urgency no longer controls you. What once caused doubt now feels irrelevant. You are operating from alignment, not emotion. That is why the next opening will recognize you instantly. No delays. No confusion. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is drawn to your stability, not your struggle. Amen. 4888. Archangel Michael confirms this final truth: you are no longer being shaped, you are being placed. The process is complete. What unfolds next arrives with clarity, permanence, and impact. Stay still, stay centered, and stay receptive, because the final phase does not announce itself loudly, it simply arrives and changes everything. The door closed because your assignment could no longer wait. Amen.